welcome to the Vivian for those that have never been here before, and welcome to those who came up today on the bus from Auckland. It's the second time we've done it, and we were absolutely thrilled that many of you had come here for the very, very first time. A few thank yous. Raman does the music every single time. He's a wonderful DJ. He brings all the kit and all the gear, and he does it for this community. Mandy Thompson-Taylor, there she is there. Mandy's... To Craig and Rachel Ray and Miles, this is Craig standing in front of me, the camera. All the stuff you see on social media is Craig and Rachel. To Mike, who's on the bar. Mike was in early on doing painting. He painted a beautiful pink wall out there. To Glenn, who does the bar as well. Thank you very much. To the Sawmill Brewery, who sponsor us. I was working out tonight that the Sawmill Brewery have given us over 1,000 beers since they became our sponsor. So thank you very much, Mike and Kirsty. It means a lot. And also to Rob, the pizza guy. This is the first time we've done wood-fired pizzas. Probably won't be the last because it's my favourite food group. You'll see a new sculpture out front made by the man standing next to me, Iain Cheesman. And it's a partner to the Idiot sculpture. Well, separate work, but same series. It's an edition of 3. It's stainless steel, hand-painted and handmade, effectively. Now, what I wanted to announce was we started to run a competition at the beginning of the year. And it's called Idiots of the Year. And we've had a few entries, but I want you to take a photograph of yourself in front of idiots looking like an idiot. And Iain is going to judge them all the week before Christmas. And the winner of the most idiotic photograph is going to get a small maquette of that sculpture. It's a limited edition. So knock yourselves out tonight. You've got beautiful weather. All right, I want to introduce each of the artists tonight, and I want a big cheer for each of them. First of all, in the South Gallery, the one at the far end, which used to be called the Lounge Gallery. You'll notice we moved the office out of it. It's called the South Gallery. Young Nicholas Ives. Nicholas is in his 30s. He's from Melbourne. He can't be here tonight. I've loved Nicholas's work for a long time. He's quite well known in Melbourne and Sydney. He's just been announced as a finalist in the Moran Prize in Australia. For any Aussies in here, you'll know that's a big, big deal. This is his very first show in New Zealand. I've collected him for 3 or 4 years, fell in love with his work, and he jumped at the chance to show at the Vivian. And we're actually going to formally represent him, which I'm thrilled about. The other thing is Nicholas will have a major show in this space very soon in 2019. That's a body of work. That's a little taster of work that he did in 2017. The new work is all work that he's done this year. It'll be a sensational show, so look out for it. The next artist in the studio gallery is Matty Canterbury Lee's very own Elizabeth McClure. Big cheer. Elizabeth has been around the gallery long before I took the gallery over. She supported the gallery through thick and thin, and we were so pleased to have this, which is a new body of work. Some of you may have seen the vessel work at the Auckland Art Fair, but everything else in there was created for this show. I'm going to allow Elizabeth to say a few words, and then I'm going to go on to talk about our next artist, who's standing next to me over here. So Elizabeth, very quickly, want a word or two?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you to Scott Laurie, fellow Scotsman, ECA,
Edinburgh College of Art.
College of Art graduates, for inviting me to show at the Vivian, but also for Iain Cheesman, who actually invited me to show alongside him in this exhibition, which is huge for me. And it was very daunting to think how I could make work. Scott, for his patience in the development of this, because he'd say, how's the work going? And I'd say, I don't know, Scott, I'll let you know. And he'd say, oh, that's all right, it'll come together, don't you worry.
And it did come together.
And it did.
Congratulations, well done. Congratulations. And finally, of course, we come to the man himself, Mr. Iain Cheesman. Many of you, Iain has been on the Auckland art scene, in fact on the New Zealand art scene for quite a long time. He was a professional stoller as well as an artist, and I always loved his work. I first met Iain through the Vivian as a collector. So anybody who's been to the house knows that my house is full of Iain Cheesman work. And when I met him and I took over the Vivian, I said, would there be any chance of showing you at the Vivian, as my first represented artist? And Iain said yes. And I sat in the car 10 minutes later and I went, oh, fuck. What am I going to do? He said yes. Since then, he's become a terrific mentor. I'm not very experienced in running a gallery, and I do have occasional meltdowns. But this man, he helps me through it. He's very experienced. He knows the art scene very well. He's become a terrific friend to me. Iain's work bucks trends. There's something incredibly humane about it and incredibly joyful. His love of words, his love of poetry, his love of visual puns. But a lot of the underlying stuff in here you're seeing around the room is actually quite deep and meaningful. And I mean that in a really positive way. He's been working really hard in the studio for the past year on this body of work. And it goes in conjunction with his third book of poetry, which was published today. Now, Iain has decided, instead of doing a catalogue, we published a book, and you're all getting a copy to take home. We have 500 copies. So they're on the main desk, they're in the foyer. Don't leave without your Iain Cheesman, The Poetry Book. It'd be a terrific honour if you would take it home tonight for us. I'm going to hand over to Iain to say a few words, and I'm going to let you get on with the party and have an enjoyable evening. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Firstly, thank you all for coming. It's scary to see so many people. An artist,
197.
one would be more comfortable. Yeah. So thank you so much. It's a long weekend, and luckily we've got some good weather. But thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and take the book away, please. We're giving it away because we can't sell it.
I tried.
And so I have some thank yous as well. So I've been coming up for 4 or 5 years to the Vivian, and I always stay with Mike and Vicky and Sam, and so thank you very much. They look after me, make sure I'm on the level, charge my tools. Mike comes and helps, Vicky comes and helps, so really, really grateful. The poetry book, this is my copy because I fucked up the cover. And so the book was, the design and the editing was with Craig and Rachel, who not only do a whole lot of things, but they helped me through my third book of poetry. And I'm really, really grateful. The essence of the care and the comfort of the book is due to them, so thank you very much. Miles, yes, he makes the best cup of tea in the room, so thank you very much, Miles.
Thanks, Miles. He charges me for it, though. He does keep timesheets.
That's right. Mandy has been here since I first came through. First time I met her, she just made me feel relaxed and joyous, and every time I meet her, it's the same thing. She's a wonderful woman. Glenn, her partner, who's on the bar, marvellous man. Anyone who gives you a beer is a marvellous man. So,
or women.
Or women, yeah. In terms of the show, I'm so grateful to be able to show with Elizabeth. I've known Elizabeth for 10 years, and when I first saw her work at FHE Galleries, I was gobsmacked, and I thought that's just the most amazing thing. So it's a real pleasure to show alongside Elizabeth. It was a bonus. Thank you very much. And pulling work out at the last minute is always a wonderful thing. It's frightening, and then it's scary. And when we popped the work on the wall, it was just really a wonderful moment. It really was. Excuse me, losing my voice. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. Hey, so there is one thank you to someone who doesn't want to be thanked. There's some of these shelf works, which are all new works, they have embroideries with them. And my lovely partner, Sarah, I said, Sarah, can you teach me how to embroider? And she said, no way, I'm doing them. And I was so grateful. I thought she would say that, so that's why I asked her. But Sarah's always done embroidery. She's a surgeon, so she stitches, but she's always done embroidery. Sorry, you didn't need to go there. But has always done it quietly and beautifully, and it's thank you so much, Sarah. Apart from supporting me in every way possible, so I'm very grateful. So thank you. I have to thank my grandmother, Muriel Wallace, who, excuse me, I might get a bit emotional, but
I'll read it.
She taught me how to weave when I was a boy. Yeah, you will. And so I'm very grateful to her, my mother, Muriel, Maggie, who was a painter. So, excuse me, sorry. Let me compose myself. So anyway, I've been thinking about my grandmother, my mother, all the way through making this work, learning to weave when I was a boy, and then thinking about other people who I didn't know, Colin McCann especially. And so a lot of the words and a lot of the making has come through me quietly alone in my studio thinking about other makers who have changed my life. So it was a really lovely moment when I started making the felt works, and I suddenly realised that this went all the way back to probably when I was 5 or 6, and which is quite a long time actually. But it amazes me how far back you can go to learn that you've learnt something really fundamental, and not just maths and English and science, or learning to make your bed or tie your shoes or polish your shoes. So all of those things, that when we discover that we have learnt something wonderful and carried it through the whole of our life. So thank you, Scott.
Welcome everyone. Now go and enjoy yourselves. For those in Auckland that came on the bus, you've got 45 minutes to have lots of nice pizza and a few wine and beers. Congratulations, Ian. Thanks very much, everyone.